This is Rhea, and this is Just the Who of Us, where we talk about a range of topics, including life events, current events, spirituality, entertainment, family relationships, as well as answering listener questions and more.
They hear my skills. They say, "Golly, get him out of here."
We can talk about relationship drama.
That's rude. My best friend was like, "What do you do?" She asked me about your relationships.
We can just go match for match. You can tell me yours, and I can match you with something.
I don't think you can match me. I'm telling you.
But you know what? I like that. I like when people are able to be like, "Hey, you know what? Like I fucked up. This is what I did," and I own. You know, the conversation I had with my son's father.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Y'all don't really get along." Well, we get along now, right? Because time has passed. Mm-hmm. I used to couldn't stand him. Yeah. We used to did not talk. We couldn't sit down and have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we could, a lot of people were like, "What?" But I like when people can, you know, like have conversations and be like, "Hey, this is where I fucked up. Yeah. But this is what I'm doing now. And this is what I did to get out of that."
I'm very spiritual, but like me personally, being a Sagittarius, like we're very dangerous because there's three people that we love. Uh-huh. And it's like, you love the person that can do something for you. I gotta watch the video again, but it's like, it's like you got two people. A Sagittarius always has two people on the whole that they have, but they want that third.
Really?
It's always like, and it's true because, you know, I have my baby mama, wife, baby mama, whatever. She does her job, and then I also have somebody that helped me like financially. Mm-hmm. But I don't want either one of them. Yeah. I want that person that can do it all together. Right. And that's...
I mean, I feel like that makes sense, though.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. Yeah. People are like, "Why are you like it?"
Well, I'm also super open-minded. Yeah. So it's not something that we practice just because my husband's not into it, but I'm intrigued by polygamy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just having this kind of like, well, there's different roles that different people play. So I get it. Yeah. I get it. It doesn't sound crazy to me.
I mean, but in life, to me, it makes sense. Yeah. Like, but other people don't. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's fair to make one person do everything.
So my husband, I had a hysterectomy. Mm-hmm. Plus, I already have kids. Yeah. And I'm almost 40. Yeah. I don't want to take care of the baby. Yeah. My husband doesn't have biological children. Yeah. Our youngest, everybody that watches knows that we ain't got to. Yeah. So he wants to have a biological child. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, just like the things like I don't have anything to carry my biology. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm like, I mean, I can't. Yeah. So even if I wanted to have a baby at 40, which I can't. Yeah. So, but, you know, we've had a conversation. It was actually my idea, like, hey, you know, maybe we should bring this other person in who can give you a child, because that's not something I want to keep away from somebody. You know, like I know what it is to have a child, and that's not something I would ever want to take away from him being able to have, just because I can't do it for him. Yeah.
And you're also going for that.
Thank you. I've gotten mixed comments. Some people are like, "That's disgusting. Why would you go up?" Well, because like I adore him, and I want him to be happy. So it's not like I'm saying like, "Oh, let me just bring this woman in just so we can have sex with her." Yeah. Like my stipulation was though, if someone else is going to carry a child, then you need to raise that child with that woman and show that child a complete family. Yeah. Or you have a surrogate, and I would raise the child without.
I would do that.
Yeah, that would be. Honestly, it'd probably be less complicated
because that route, as me and me being the whore that I am. I mean, straight up. I mean, I've seen it done. Women can say, "I suck your dick all day. I give you this and that," but I mean, men, we're just whores. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, just honestly. I mean, if Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, I mean, what makes you?
Right.
I mean, and, Beyonce has done everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, every man on this earth is cheated a lot. Sorry. I mean, I hate to break your heart, but it's the truth. I mean, if you really truly believe that your man and anybody don't cheat or don't look at other women, you're crazy.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you do.
I mean, I would like to think my husband doesn't cheat. However, I know he looks at other women. I'm bisexual. I look at other women too. But like, one reason I'll point things out, like, he's cute or like, she got ass. You know what I mean? Like, well, because I find it attractive, but also like, I don't expect my partner to pretend like he's not human.
Exactly.
So if you're sitting here telling me, not you, but like if a man was sitting here telling me like, oh, I only have eyes for you, I only look at you, you're a bullshit liar because you're a human. Yeah. Like, I would rather you just be honest and look than try to pretend like.
If there's more women like you to say, honey, I know I'm not the only one. So we can look together. Just be the thing about men, they're not honest. They try to hide everything. And why hide? Because women know everything.
I have sons. I mean, my oldest son is not, he tells me things sometimes and I'm like, hey, you probably could have kept that to yourself, guy. But I'm not his partner, you know what I mean? I'm his mom. Yeah. But I would imagine, I mean, I know he probably wouldn't tell his partner all, the weird things that he tells me because, well, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not his partner. I'm not going to judge him how most women do. I feel like with women I've talked to, some women are becoming more open-minded, more realistic, should I say. Like, okay, like, I don't care about porn. Yeah. I don't care about, you know what I mean? Like, there's obviously, there's a limit. Like, porn addiction and just you know what I mean? Like, once in a while, it's like.
I think, me personally, I don't try not to watch porn. Yeah. Because it's very addictive. And I wish that parents would tell their kids not to watch porn.
So, like I said, when I had my oldest when I was only 14, when he was younger, I was like, yeah, watch porn, I don't care. Now, my 9-year-old, I have a very different conversation with because I'm older now. Yeah. When I was younger, I was just like, well, you're going to watch porn anyway, you're a teenage boy, whatever. Now I'm like you were giving him permission to look at, first of all, grown-ass women. That's disgusting. It's a very different conversation that I would have now. But, and me giving him that, I was like, yeah, go ahead, probably he stopped, like I say, he tells me a lot of stuff, but he got a little bit older and he was like, I kind of became desensitized to it.
And it happens.
Sorry, son.
No, as men, see, that's the thing, men don't talk about this stuff. Like, more women are comfortable because it's another woman. But men, we all try to cower away and stuff. But it's, as other men would say, stop watching that. It's bad for your health because porn takes away from a natural woman's body. Yeah. Because, you're not doing, I promise you, you're not doing the porn star. Right. And it's fake. Right. They're doing. Right. Yeah. But when you start watching at a young age, you start off maybe 2 girls kiss. Mm-hmm. And then it's like years later, like even my friends laughing out, like, this might be nasty, but now you're watching girls puke on each other. But you laugh. But I know it is actual thing. It's different levels. Yeah. Like, and then before you know it, masturbate to it, like, what the fuck am I watching? Yeah. And it's like, and it's so addicting because like now I've seen this, what else should I see? And then now you can't even look at a woman naturally because you're so messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then from what I've heard other men talk about too is you get into these kind of unrealistic situations. Sex is not, when you have sex every time, it's not going to be like you're having sex with a porn star.
Exactly.
And you have these high expectations of every single time, and especially if you're kind of promiscuous, you're with different people, and different people are different, they do different things, have different kinks and whatever. It's not going to be the same. Your expectations aren't going to be met every time you have those expectations from unrealistic.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
If you watch it, it messes your mind. And the one thing that can mess a man up is his mind. Because if a man don't have his mind, he ain't have nothing.
Right.
I mean, and now you're like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And it really, porn is evil. And I know it hurts. I know guys that hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, and it makes the women feel bad about themselves because you're not getting your man off because he's watching girls pick on each other.
I'm sorry.
And it's all right. It's the truth. It's the truth. Like,
but I mean, people like weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and that's okay. But it's like, well, you like it weird because like you so sensitized to everything. Yeah. It's like two girls kissing together is nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's normal. Yeah. But to that 65-year-old man that never watched porn, he sees two women hold hands, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, whatever you put your mind to, that's where you're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, because porn, everybody. I'm a sex person. That's my thing. But you got people on there like mom and daughter, and sister, and it gets in people's mind that it's okay.
That weird. The first time I saw that weirded me out. I was like, I'm a very realistic person. Like, I love horror. Mm-hmm. Everything gross and horror and bloody and murdery, I love it. Yeah. But my brain knows that it's fake. Yeah. Right? So the first time I saw those categories, and I was like, well, that's gross. Although I imagine they're not actually related. But just when you're watching it in the mindset of this is the mom and daughter. That's weird to me. But it's weird to me because I'm not into it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing because my baby mama, she sold nudes. I learned from her. Just people are into weird shit. Especially if you say you have kids, people are they are weird. They want weird shit, and they will pay you for weird shit.
I've heard of farting in jars.
Yes. Yes, that's very true. That's very true.
People you're unaware of, people's favorite underwear. Really?
She was saying, they'll pay $100 for her underwear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it blows my mind because I'm like, damn, you got $100.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't considered it. My husband's absolutely not. But I'm like, I don't need a lot of money. But then what I want my daughter to do in that is kind of how I have to think about stuff like that. And I can't lie for shit. I'm a horrible liar. And so if what if they came to ask me about it, how do you have all this money? Are you
I mean the thing, but times are so hard right now. I mean, if I gotta sell some panties, I gotta sell some panties.
Yeah.
Because right now, with today's society, it's hard.
Yes.
It's literally hard. I literally made $1,200 last week, and I didn't want it for just doing music.
Yeah.
And then the next week, all my bills, I only got $50 on there.
Mm-hmm. So, 100%.
That's so expensive.
Well, especially when you're trying to do something for yourself, because, I own a business, and it is like that. Some weeks, I have money. I'm able to do things, and then everything is good, everything is paid, and then you don't work. You don't have that much work that week, and you're like, shit. I gotta make sure I put money back to make sure that at the end of the month these things are taken care of and whatnot. It's difficult, and it's been more difficult since having our own business, or like for you, like doing this thing for yourself. There's complexities to it.
Yeah.
At a certain level, you have to pay taxes that you didn't have to pay before, or an H-10 check before, or, like, okay, every month I know when I have this certain amount because I get paid this certain amount.
Yeah.
And then now, like, okay, well, I have to make sure that I work this amount and get these amount of clients and gigs and stuff to make sure that I have this much coming in. Exactly. It's difficult. There's been times where I've kind of been like, maybe I should go get me go work for somebody else because that's a lot to keep up with. But, for you to, in the long run, getting yourself out there and getting yourself established is going to be much more worth it than us going and work for somebody else and not getting far.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we're working for somebody else and they're getting far.
Making money man rich or you ain't getting shit.
Right.
It's crazy. That's how life is.
Yeah.
Life be life. Either you in or you're not.
Yeah. So let's talk about your relationship. So at this point that this episode is out, people have kind of gotten to know if they've heard a little bit about your start. They know a little bit about you professionally, and now we're going to put you out there, going to get to know you personally. So we've both been married before. I'm in my second marriage. You are still in your first marriage? A little bit.
Paperwork. That's paperwork.
I was there for like 5 years before we legally got divorced.
Me and her are really good friends. She's my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, when I start playing music and stuff, I'm like, I've been there more for her than she's been there for me. So, in that relationship form there, I just feel like I always got used, but then like, we would get over that situation and it would just be like, okay, well, now we passed that. What happened next? And it's always going to be something next. But I've been trying to get away from this situation for a long time, but it's like every woman I talk to that I try to get away from is like, I might as well say where I'm at. And so my relationship status, like I said, right now, I am legally, paperly married, but definitely not married.
Yeah.
Miserable.
And your partner knows this. It's not like you're coming on here and you're just like, hey, by the way, I'm going to tell everybody but you.
No, we talk about it. Like I said, there's some days that we can't have a conversation. And it's just like, because for her, I schooled the hell out of her. Mm-hmm. Like, never had to work. Bought her a car, house paid for. She's like one you call like princess, like always, you need something, go get it.
Yeah.
But when I try to talk about finances or something like that, she don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the things that struggle me so much. And people say, well, it's your fault. They blame me for it. So I said, well, I guess it is my fault. Because I'm the nice guy. Because, like, I noticed that women out here, they say they want a nice guy, they get a nice guy, and then they shit on him. Mm-hmm. So it's like, either you gotta be a dick to them, and they love you. Mm-hmm. I mean, they love that. Mm-hmm. Tell them you come and don't go. Come tomorrow, I'll be here, please. It's like that, but it's like, when you're there and you're being faithful to them and you're trying to show them something and be there, mm-hmm. You're talking to somebody else, ain't you? It's always so. It's, and I think women that have a man appreciate that man. Mm-hmm. Every day that he comes home to you, just appreciate it. Don't say where you've been, don't,
Yeah.
But because the thing about it is, and I hate to say it, but like, that man, there's so many women out here that beg for money every single day. And if a man is coming to home to you every single day and he's there every night, don't worry about what he does. Just know he's home.
Yeah. I have never been really like a hovering type of person.
Yeah.
My husband and I were having a similar conversation last night. Here's who you talk to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if I'm doing what I'm supposed to, then I don't feel like I should have to worry about it.
That's right.
Also, probably in the past, it was more so like I wasn't really like a relationship person for a long time. So I didn't really care what the person that I was involved with was doing because, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like a thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, like, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Maybe it was my first husband a little bit because I found like certain pictures and certain things that was like, what the fuck is this? You know, kind of thing. And the answers was just kind of like brush off. And, you know, he knows because he was there. But I took that more seriously. But even then, I was just never really like, what are you doing? Who are you with? Who are you talking to? Like, I don't care who you're talking to. We're grown. We're grown-ups. You're allowed to talk to people. My husband has females he conversates with. They work together. I know this, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
At the end of the day, you can't control it.
Right. Because if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and you're still going to do what you're going to do, well, then it doesn't matter if I hover over you or not. You're going to do what you're going to do.
There's that. I mean, that's the main thing. Women focus on them and let the man follow them. That's the best advice I can give. I mean, me personally, like I said, I've taken care of her my whole life. So we're friends. Like, you know, I still love her, of course. I mean, she's my baby mom.
Yeah.
You know, but she's wife, baby mom. She helps me out a lot, like with the kids. She's a great mom and everything. But like mentally, we just can't have a conversation. And that's and like I'm on the road all the time. I'm by myself. Like she'll never really come to my shows because you know we got kids, and I get it. But it's also like and it's like I come home and the house will be messy, and it's just like.
That's the thing that I hear from men. Like the thing that I hear from men about what they don't want to come home to is a messy house, especially if you've been home. And you know, I like I said, I'm very open minded. I try not to judge people, right? Because I've been on both ends. I've been a stay-at-home mom with the kids, and sometimes the house is messy because I'm going through things mentally. I'm over here stressing about the fact that I'm not making money. I'm used to making money. I'm used to paying bills. For some, you know, for years it was just me and my kids. I ran my household. So it's like going from that to being a stay-at-home mom, there would be days for me where I was like, I didn't do a lot because I was a little depressed because I just wasn't where I wanted to be. So, like, I can understand that from time to time, not on a daily basis. And I can also understand how a man coming home to that every day would be very stressed out and frustrated.
Like, I would do 3 gigs in a day. I would wake up, kind of play a church on Saturday. Gotta be there at 8:30. Do that, do one in the afternoon and one at night. I come home, I might be a little drunk, and I'll be like, I'm happy to be home. Come home, house wrecked. And I'm like, it's 24 hours in a day, 12 hours, like, you didn't do anything. And you know I'm working. Like, and I know it's stressful with the kids, but I always say to her, what would you do if I was dead? Like, and I keep telling her, I said, like, I think about a man loves a strong woman. Like, not a hoe, not all like that. That's outside the bedroom. But in the bedroom, in the house, I pick a strong woman that I say that can handle this.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, can you not handle it? Do I need to find somebody else all the time? Because, like, it's just like, I can just kick you out of the house and, you can just do your own thing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I said, I get stressed. I'm not being a dick. But at the same time, like, pizza boxes in the floor.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not here to judge her. Just saying.
Like, I have videos, like, and one thing I hate is dirty dishes. I coming home and it's 10, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the sink full of dirty dishes. Mm-hmm. I hate that.
Well, see, I have, my husband does too.
Yeah.
My kids are older. Yeah. And we started turning off Wi-Fi. Like, y'all want to leave dishes in the sink? You don't want to clean them after yourself? Well, then we turn off the Wi-Fi. Yeah. I bet you wash the dishes then. And they do. Yeah. It doesn't happen often anymore. But it's like, you have to obviously kind of cater your consequences to the age of the kids. I mean, your kids are still pretty little. So, I mean, that's not really a viable consequence for them. But and at that point, I mean, I still keep up with, like, my 9-year-old. Mm-hmm. If he's leaving stuff, you need to go wash that. So that's still my responsibility as the mom, as a woman in the house, to say, okay, you need to go take care of this.
Exactly. The thing about with my baby mama's wife, whatever, this is what fucks me up for the record. The only reason why I've stayed, because I do believe her. Mm-hmm. I think she's a good person.
Yeah.
I believe that one day I wake up and say, maybe she's good. Mm-hmm. And then I meet a new girl, I start talking to a new girl, and they show me something that my baby mama don't do. And I'm like really intrigued.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And it don't even have to be sexual. It's just like, they got their own business, they did this and that. I'm like, okay, that's really good. And then I might be snorting cocaine. Right. And it's like, that's not what I'm doing.
Well, she doesn't do that. So yeah. Going to stay over here.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
And, it's like, I hope for better.
Yeah.
But I wish for the worst. Like, or however you say it. Like, you just, one day, I hope she'll wake up and get it.
Yeah.
Because I am a good guy. I'm a hoe, I'm a good guy.
So one reason I was like, yeah, let's talk about this, because I like the idea of having a man's perspective on these types of things, right? Because I just haven't. I haven't had that on here. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think a lot of women do. I don't know of a lot of women who say, hey, tell me your perspective about this, and I'm not going to judge you, mm-hmm. But I will say, I feel like if one of my daughters or one of my sons came to me with the situation, and I don't know her, so this is like not me putting her down at all, I would probably say I wouldn't hold out and hope for the best, because unless someone is putting in active changes in their life, mm-hmm. then you're just kind of staying stagnant. Most of the conversations I have about dating is with teenagers right now. Yeah. So obviously you're not a teenager, but that would be the advice that I have to give. And again, like I said, that's not shit on her because I don't know her, but anyone, who was in a situation and I was in a situation like that with my ex-husband. Mm-hmm. We were just kind of there. Yeah. Okay, well, and I remember him saying to me one day, well, it'll be fine. And I was like, that's when I knew that we needed to divorce, mm-hmm. because we weren't changing anything. Yeah. And when you're not working to better yourself and you're not working to change your relationship, it's not going to get better. Yeah. So to just have this kind of mindset of like, well, I'm just going to stay here and one day it'll be fine. It's possible if the two of you are making consistent movements to make it better. You know what I mean? But if you're just kind of staying stagnant, expecting it to change one day, in my opinion, that just doesn't work.
And you're telling the truth. I've heard that many times. Like I said, I'm also blessed because, like I said, I'll be honest. I don't know. I do what I want. And she knew about it and she accepted. And that, I know we're going to be like, oh my God, he's supportive. That's an old. But the thing is, like, she's cool. She's not even tripped about it. Like, she don't care. She's like, you do you, I love you on the dishes type deal. But at the same time, it's like, it's just, I do love her, but at the same time, it's like, I do need it. And it's been ran down in my blood, like, my dad's like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want my kids like that. But it is like a generational curse. It passes down.
Yeah.
I mean, what your dad did, what you going to do. And you break the curse because I got married, but at the same time when I got married, I knew that I wasn't done.
Right.
I knew that. And I told her that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand that too, because I was trying to see if it's been saying 10 minutes forever. In not just like sexual lifestyle. I mean, it's true in general because my father had issues with alcohol. My mom did at one point. She moved away and changed her life. My father continued. I ended up having issues with alcohol. I got my shit together, but it's like, and it's in my family, my sister, she's had her bouts with things too, same as our father. And we've both chosen to stop it with us. And really, I'm very open in communication with my kids. So I talk to them about alcohol use. They are very aware with things that are going on in my family with alcohol and drug abuse. And because I don't want it to keep happening. I know a couple people who have like one of the recordings and stuff like that. But my knowledge about things like that are more on like polygamy, like relationship stuff. I don't know a lot about like swinging. I just know like swinger parties.
Yeah, it's all fun. It's just different, It's not really different, but it's like if you love that person, to me, only because like if you love somebody, you can let them go. It's just if they come back or not. I mean, if they love you back, they come back. If not, then it wasn't true.
Yeah.
And then you regret that for the rest of your life. But at the same time, it's good to know now than later.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what makes people strong. Like me and my baby mama did it. It was like, okay, now we're back. And when I was explaining, I'm not saying like you go there, I go here. Like it was all like, it wasn't I'm going to take it. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
It wasn't like that. And I need to change it. There's a big difference. And going there for
Yeah.
And it's different,
That sounds more like polygamy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do what you mean.
I have barely stood on about pineapples. Okay. What do you know about?
This is one of your swingers, husband.
Because
Upside down.
Upside down. Okay. I've only seen things where it's like somebody had like a slide of like a pineapple or like upside down pineapple or something. This girl party, people like and people were like, oh my God, and she's like, when I'm wrong, that's part of it wasn't.
It's different.
My cousin, and that's weird. But
like they said, like the black rings. There's different sizes.
It looks black rings because that's what my husband has.
Really?
But I bought it for him.
Oh yeah. Well, that means you're a bull. That means you slip down.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
But it's kind of like the sex bracelets. You remember that when you probably remember that when they had like the light blue thing,
So what you would do?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody tells you don't punish.
Right.
Like, you just think it's person.
Yeah.
You know? So it's always been stuff around, it's always been stuff.
Right. Well, that's why when people are clearly entitled to their opinions on, what they think about things, what they wouldn't want to do, and whatever. But one of the things when people have their wrong opinions about certain things, I'm like, this stuff has always been around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people always, where do you think they got it from? Like, people have always done this type of stuff, right? Just because, it's with your sexuality, when you're bisexual, gay, whatever, like, people have always been this way.
Yeah.
It's just that now we don't care if you know.
It's over. Everything done under the sun.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Nothing you can't really hide. The thing about 2024 is just things come to life.
Yeah. Well, and
because the world's getting ready to. I believe the world's getting ready to come close to an end. So, like, now you have to just kind of reveal yourself. Because that's what the Bible says. The Bible says at the end of time, things will start revealing us. I'm not getting political or religious, but I'm just saying, like, either you read the book and you believe it, and say, or I believe it, and you say, okay, or you just call it bullshit, but it's not going to happen if you believe it or not.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
At least I read the book and I said, well, it said it's going to happen, now it's happening.
Yeah.
You still call bullshit, you say it's real.
Yeah.
So people have been doing what they want to do for years.
Right.
Now you get to hear about it.
Yeah.
And now you're like, because now, like, you got to think, like, Nickelodeon's coming out with that, like, and then all these other shows. Now the kids coming out with that, and it's like, it's been happening.
Yeah.
And I blame it on the parents.
100%.
You can't tell me I'm going to take my son to Michael Jackson's house and they sleep in the bed together. I don't think you're touching my son.
Right. Well, I'm not having my kids sleeping in the bed with any adult. It's not me anyway. So.
I'm saying, like, and now you're crying because you want money. That's the only reason why you cry.
Right.
And that's it. I mean, and that's all it is, too. I mean, people just don't have common sense. And common sense is rare.
Common sense is not common.
It's really not. It's rare that you find common sense.
Yeah.
People can read a book, people can write a book, but common sense, street knowledge, follow.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to live on earth. You need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I know sometimes. And I learn every day. I don't know everything.
But that's a good thing to admit. Like, however old I am, and I'm still learning things. You're never too old or too smart or too whatever to not continue learning as you go.
Exactly.
It's important. It's important that you do, because you can't evolve if you don't continue to learn. And your opinions can change, and that's fine too.
Exactly.
My opinions on certain things have changed over the last 5 years. And it's not because, I'm acting different or whatever. I don't know. It's just because, I'm allowed to change my opinion because I have new information.
That's just like, when you have kids and you see that will never be my kid. I've never. And then you have a kid, it's like, it's different. Because I said, my kid would never have a phone. My kid, they don't play outside. Kids 6 and 7 got iPhone, tablets, and everything. I'm just like,
see, I'm not with the tablets. Yeah. Now, my son, he has a tablet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him not that. Just he forget.
Yeah.
Lose it or whatever. But I see people out in public, they're toddlers and these iPads. What the fuck is happening? Because I don't know, I just don't feel like, personally for me, I don't feel like a toddler should have a screen in their face all the time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, I want you to shut up. Here's this electronic. that, I don't understand that. And I know there's people that do it, people I know that do it. And I'm just saying, I don't understand it. Now it's different. Like, I didn't really want my daughters to have phones when they did. They were like, they're probably around, so they're 2 years apart, so they're probably like 7 and 9. So maybe a little, yeah, probably about 7 and 9. I didn't really want them to have phones. But their dad, we lived in different houses. And their dad wanted to be able to communicate with them instead of always having to go around me. And so he bought them a phone, and I was like, no internet. No internet on the phone. No one can get on the internet. Like, they can text and call you, and that's it. I was very strict. I have restrictions on their internet and stuff like that for a long time. And I would check their phones pretty periodically. Now, mind you, this was like 8 years ago. So it's probably even worse now. But I was, just because, my son and father, just because a lot of this is stuff that I do, I met guys online. I was in a very dangerous situation one time because of a guy I met online. And, just like, I don't want my kids to go through that. And if we don't teach them the right things, they will go out and make these mistakes, like meeting people online and stuff like that. Like, it's a little bit different now than say when I was a teenager because the internet was like just becoming a thing. You
had to download up and AOL and all that stuff.
And so, like, it's different. There weren't all these kind of safety nets put in place. One of my teams has made friends online. A couple of my kids have made friends online. Play video games and that. But I periodically ask questions, and I know that they are being safe. There's certain information that they'll give out. There's certain things that they keep from sharing with these people, so that they aren't putting themselves at risk. Stuff like that. But they're also teenagers and young adults. It's a little different than a toddler.
And you got to. Like, you don't tell where you live, you don't tell where the house, where the drive.
Right.
Yeah, because you don't know who you're talking about.
Right, exactly.
Really don't.
Well, everybody presents himself to be a trustworthy person.
At first.
In the beginning.
Yeah. At first,
That's how you get people to talk to.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Like I say, you can paint yourself any color you want on the internet.
Yeah.
People will believe it.
But not us, though. Like, you guys can trust us.
I mean, I'm telling you. So, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that's my relationship with that right there. So, I'm lucky.
So, what I'm hearing is for available women who may be watching this episode, that you are available.
Yeah, I am. But I have baggage now.
It is something that you and her have talked about. Said, hey, look, this is what I want to do.
Oh yeah, I've made plans for her many times.
Yeah.
Empty promises all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not putting her down. She is a great person, great mother, great lover, best sex ever, good sex, great person. And I don't know if it's me or what, but it's the fact that she has no motivation. And I know that her parents play a lot in her life about that and stuff like that. But I still tell her every day, you need to do something for yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm the type of guy that I told her, you need to go make some friends. Mm-hmm. I'll pay for a babysitter. Go make friends. Go be with your girls. Go find them. I don't want to. Mm-hmm. Why? I don't trust. But the thing, you can't trust nobody. But at the end of the day, you can't just keep sitting there.
Yeah. I have a small friend circle just because of things like that. I live a certain thing. There's certain things that I don't do anymore, and that I don't want around. And I like to have a lot of associates. A lot of I have people here that go certain places and we're very friendly. But I'm very picky about my call, my friends is just a few people. Yeah. And because I moved away from everybody, I don't get to hang out with them very often. But I get it. I mean, I do get it. I get it from her perspective of I don't really trust, this is just putting on my psychology hat at this point. I have a degree, a master's in psychology. A lot of times when I start talking to people, especially when it comes to relationships, my psychology brain starts kicking in. So if I'm asking you questions well, have you, it's not to be well, this is what you need to do. It's just that's when our brain goes
So for 10 years, I've tried to. I even told her guys to my main thing for her, I told her she can have somebody she can go complain to, go at. So I'm not a controlling type of guy.
Yeah.
Go to your and she's and it's that's 15 years. And that bothers me that when I met her, she dropped out of high school. I'm the type of guy that says, if you want to be with me, you're going to have a high school diploma. So I met everyone and she was 16. I was working a full-time job. I woke up every morning and I called the school. I'm getting her back in. She'll be there Monday. So I made the call and I drove her every day. She got a high school diploma. I was so happy for her. Mm-hmm. She got a job. She was working and everything was going good. Then she stole from Walmart. She stole from the registry. And we didn't have kids then. We just got married a year, maybe 2 years after that. But before that. And I was embarrassed. I was like, here I am working 2 jobs, and you're still not rich. Why? And she said, I want a Subway. And I didn't want to ask you for money. And I was sitting there. And the biggest mistake I did in my marriage, and I blame myself, when the police came and got her, she went and turned herself in to the police or whatever. She lied about it the whole time. She got there, she said, well, I want you to know that I did do it, and I'm sorry. I said, I know. Stop being there. Stopped everything I was doing, paid $1,000. She didn't even put on an orange jumpsuit. Didn't do no time. Yeah. And I wish I would have let her sit there. I feel like if I let her sit there, I would change. Yeah. But I would just so I brought her to the house and we talked and everything. Like I said, after that, she didn't really work anymore. I just kept the bills up and I did everything. I paid her parole off. I did everything. We didn't have kids, and I thought I was shooting blank. So I said, at least if I'm doing all this, I'm going to see if I can get a kid back. Yeah. So then I had my daughter. And then after I had my daughter with her, my son was acting. That just happened. And then, it just like I said, I do love the girl, and I've cheated a lot. Because me being who I was, and I'm always outgoing person, and she's not that. But she was in trouble home. Her mom lost all 7 kids because she had a family of 7. I adopted her brother. Oh, wow. At the age of 19. Really? Yes. Right now, we adopted one of her other sisters right now. So I got 3, but she's adopted. So, and her mom right now is living in the building. So I took care of her family myself. I adopted 3 of her kids. But I took care of her family by myself. And the mom. I moved the mom in my place 3 times. Oh, wow. So I did a lot. Yeah. And, for me to take in my whole family and then plus to do my dream and the work of God is really stressful. So
That's a lot of weight.
A lot. So when a female hits me up in some different area, I'm like, it's just like different conversation. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? And I want to do other than I end up buying it'd be something just like, no better.
Yeah.
And I always get to that, it's no better. It's like, it's just like, what is that better than what I got? It's like, because it's like, when you get the free will to do what you want to do, you get to try something new. It's not like I want to say I'll use women for a toy or nothing like that. Like, because I really be interested.
Yeah.
But once I see something that I don't like, it's just like red flags. I'm not about to leave this situation where my kids are, where I can actually see my kids.
Yeah.
To be with you and your kids, and now I see this red flag. Yeah. What's the point?
Let me ask you this from a man's perspective. When a woman says, "Okay, you know what, you can go do what you want. I'll be here," does it make the situation more desirable, or is it kind of sometimes like, I wish you would say, no, I just want you to be with me and let's just work on this?
Sometimes I didn't wish she would say that.
Yeah.
Well, I do wish she never said that. Again, I don't know what her mom said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But maybe she just thinks I'm doing what I want to be.
Possibly, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, when I tell you, I have a relationship. I don't like a woman that sleeps in bed with pants on. I hate that. I just think it's disrespectful.
I've never heard that before.
Well, I just feel like if we're laying in bed together, I don't want to come home and feel pants.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've just never heard that before.
I'm different. I want to come home and feel your soft lips.
Yeah.
I want to feel a woman. Like, and it's not like you wear pants, not like a woman.
Right.
I'm saying we're in bed. This is time for me to rest. I want to feel a woman's presence. I want to feel a woman that wakes up. Because it's like, skin to skin. I'm not getting in pants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing pants. I'm being boxers or naked or whatever. I feel like bed is supposed to be comfort.
Yeah. And
when I feel you, that makes me feel safe. If I'm feeling like heavy duty clothes, you're a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like not really are you a man, you know what I'm saying?
If you think about it, it does make sense though. Yeah.
And it's just like, I want to feel your skin.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
I might not get to feel this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. So that's one of my rules. I'll come home, she's work, and it's dirty dishes. I hate that. So she would just do things that I was telling her that I hate.
Yeah.
And just do it. And it's like,
I think dirty dishes are like a man's pet peeve. It's just a male pet peeve.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Because it brings bugs.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't want dirty dishes, go buy food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and who wants to wake up, let's say I want to cook breakfast, and I gotta wash dishes before I cook breakfast to start the day. So it's like, we need to finish today. I feel like if the dishes are not done, then I feel like then that day's not finished.
Yeah. Is there anything else that so the kind of point of this conversation was really to have a male perspective on relationships, talk about, my listeners kind of gotten to know you at this point a little bit through their musical journey, but now to kind of give them, a little insight into you, and, just kind of put you out there a little bit, anybody who might need to anything else you want to say or throw out there before we wrap this up?
Well, hit me up. I am looking for good. You gotta know that I'm working all the time, doing it all the time. It's lonely. if anything, I love her.
Yeah.
You know, like, can't promise nothing else.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, thanks for being here again, and I'm sure we'll see you back soon.
All right.
Check us out on YouTube at Rhea Higgs, ReaHagues. You can also keep up with us on Instagram at Just the Who Podcast.